Okay, so good morning, social media. It's Saturday morning. And last Saturday morning, I shared a video about excellence. And I've been thinking about that video, actually. So it's Saturday morning again. I'm doing my errands again. And I was like, you know what? I should share another video about it. Let me talk about it. So I was talking about this video that I watched by T.D. Jakes. And Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about his father and how his life's journey has really been defined by his father's mop. And he was talking about how his father was a janitor and how he's a son of a janitor from West Virginia. But he talked about working with his father as a janitor as a young boy, and how he would think that something was clean, like he would go with his mop and clean it. And then his father would say, okay, is it done? He would say, yeah, it's done. And then his father would come behind him and then clean it again and show him how much dirt he left behind. And so that really got to him, right? Like he was like, man, I got to get to the point where I can't stand my father coming behind me, that kind of thing. And so then Bishop Jakes, while he's teaching this lesson to his leaders, he says, when I say excellent, you say excellent, excellent. And they say excellent, excellent. They say excellent. So then he said, okay, when I said excellent and you said excellent, but guess what? My definition of excellent and your definition of excellent may not be the same thing. And so the lesson he learned from his father, where his father was coming behind him, and obviously his father's definition of excellent was way different than his definition of excellent, then he had to like elevate his game, right? So that caused me to think about myself. And so I shared with you last week about my mother, Maria Nunez, and then John Morrison, or General John Morrison, who's now a two-star general in the United States Army, but back when I met him, he was a captain. And so, and I use those two people as an example of excellent that kind of taught me some things about excellence, and I'll continue to flow in that same vein today. So I'll start with my mother. So my mother taught me a lot of things, and one of the things that she taught me was, if you're going to do something, just do it right, and do it right the first time. Like, I mean, and so that seems so simple, but she was like, no, if you're going to, we don't have time to be doing stuff twice. So if you're going to do something, do it right, and do it right the first time. And another thing she told me a lot was, she would say to me whenever I was leaving our apartment in Brooklyn, she would say, Lenin, mira, enséñame con quién andas y te diré quién eres. And so she was saying, listen, son, show me who you hang with and I'll tell you who you are. She was really driving home a message that I don't think she even knew that this was biblical. But Proverbs 13:20 teaches us that both wisdom and foolishness can be transferred by association. So basically, if you're around fools, you're going to become a fool yourself. If you're around excellence, then you're going to be brought up to excellence if you have a desire to get there. So obviously, my mother taught me a lot of things about excellence. I joined the Army, and it was obvious to me early on that my definition of excellence was different than the definition of other people. So let's say as a private, I'm a private. As a private, you don't have any responsibilities other than like you have to be wherever they tell you to be on time, and then you have to be in the right uniform, and then like the uniform is supposed to be right or look right. So I'll give you an example by shining boots. So obviously, my mother instilled something in me about excellence. So when they say, hey, everybody go shine your boots, we shined our boots. But not everybody's, if I say excellent, you say excellent, not everybody's definition of excellence is the same. They would say, go shine your boots. I go shine my boots. Some people shine their boots and it took them 5 minutes. In my case, a lot of times it took me over an hour, right? But once I got it to a certain level, maybe it took less. But if I had new boots or whatever, no, it took a long time. Why? Because I was trying to get to excellent. And so I was trying to get to the point where I could see my face in my boots. And my definition of excellent was different than the definition of other people. They would say, go iron your uniform. We iron our uniform. To me, some people still look like they were just walking out of a duffel bag. Like, I mean, dude, did an iron even touch your uniform? But they said, no, I ironed it. So obviously my definition of excellence was not their definition of excellence. I fast forward, I get to my unit. And like I told you, I'm in Germany. I'm a private. I'm 18 years old. And I meet Captain John Morrison. And he pulls my whole squad into, or my team, into his office one day. And he probably doesn't remember this, but I was at 36 Lima. And the whole company, so we had about 100 people in our company, and the whole company was really designed, I didn't know this, I didn't understand this as a private, but the whole company was really designed to support the switch that I was assigned to, that I ran. And the 36 Limas, my job was to run this switch, an ANTTC 39 Alpha. And so we were assigned to run this switch. And we, the 36 Lemurs, some people call them like prima donnas or whatever, because these people, they really had to keep the switch running, and everybody in the company was supporting it. And so he called my squad or my team into his office one day, And he talked to us about how 36 Lima's like, hey, you guys are really the heart of the whole company. And really that instilled something in me. I don't know what it did. I was like, man, wow, like everybody here in the company is supporting us. And I got to make sure that this switch is squared away, ready to go. And then my supervisor, my squad leader, Staff Sergeant Marzon, he because I was a brand new private, he made me do everything, like as far as programming the switch. And I think he thought he was like punishing me, but he was doing me a favor. Like I got to learn the switch. And I did it. When I did everything, I did it with a spirit of excellence, like with a level and a dedication to doing everything right. And then I saw stuff in people like Captain Morrison that was like, wow, there was something in them that made me want to go higher, right? This is that Proverbs 13:20. This is that dedication to excellence. This is that Bishop T.D. Jakes' father's mop kind of situation. And so General Morrison, or back then, Captain Morrison took a liking to me. And so he would like really kind of push me and I wanted to do better and I wanted to do better. And I remember I got my first coin as a private first class from General White, who was the 5th Signal Command commander at the time. And I got to brief as a PFC, I got to brief a 1-star and I got a coin. Why? Because I was dedicated to doing things right, dedicated to excellence. Later on, let me just fast forward. Later on, I'm at Fort Bragg now. I'm a corporal and Captain Morrison is at Fort Bragg too. And when I was in Germany, I got to learn flood switch routing, this new technology, and Fort Bragg was just getting it. So I felt really good one day when Captain Morrison, who called me, I think he was at 50th Signal Battalion or 51st, called me and said, hey, I want you to come over, Corporal Pena, to my guys and talk to my switch, one of my switches, about flood search routing and like teach them. Like, and I was like, wow, this was an opportunity. He believed in me, so I had to step up my game. I had to make sure my stuff was right. Later on, I became a sergeant. Later on, I was a sergeant promotable. I was about to be a staff sergeant. And we had, there was a minor league baseball team in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I think it's called the Fayetteville Generals. And so I go to this baseball game and Captain Morrison was there with his wife. And I'm there as well. And then he starts to talk to me about the whole game, about how I should be a warrant officer. And he believed in me to the point where I was like, man, he really believes I should be a warrant officer. Like he was really basically instilling something in me, this desire to go higher, right? This level of excellence. And so later on, I became a staff sergeant. I went to Kuwait. I put my package together. I became a warrant officer. And as a warrant officer, guess who I wound up working for eventually? Then Major Morrison. So now I'm working for him again. And then still, he's driving me towards excellence. He was asking things of me that were beyond me, like beyond my level of experience and education. He was expecting things of me that I was not really prepared for. He was expecting things of me that other people like that went to Command General Staff College or later on the Army staff, maybe people that went to the command, to the Army War College or one of the joint war colleges. So these people had all these classes and all this education and I didn't. But he was still expecting the same thing of me. And in some cases, he was expecting even more. So what did I do? I had to learn. I had to be ready. I didn't want to let him down. And on every level, his standard of excellence was bringing my standard of excellence up. So I had to become an autodidact. I had to teach myself. I had to read and study and watch videos and do whatever I had to do to strive to a level of excellence. I wasn't going to make an excuse that, no, I don't have the class or I didn't get this opportunity. He expected it of me, so I expected it of me. And so I elevated my definition of excellence because I was around excellence. So let me just say this as I close for this Saturday morning. You need to be around people whose level of excellence is above yours, whose standard of excellence is going to cause you to want to go higher. Then you have to be dedicated to want to do it. You have to have an internal desire in your heart to want to do better, to want to go higher, to want to do what's right because it's right, and then do it right every time, and then do it right the first time so that you don't have to do it again. Surround yourself with people of like precious faith. Surround yourself with people whose definition of excellence is way higher than yours, and then do your work in such a way that nobody's going to have to come behind you with a mop and clean up your mess. Have a great Saturday. And have a great weekend. God bless you.